peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
Yes, indeed, it is definitely vital to the future of you all. So let me just address something coming in, because this is the first time I've really looked at myself this morning, and I had a haircut. You may notice I had a haircut. I certainly noticed because I was there when it happened, and yeah, wow, I look a bit eggy, I would say. That's a fair way. I mean, my gosh, look at that! I used to have such a good head of hair. Then, yes, what can I say? I had kids. They all melted away. How is everybody? How are you this fine Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday evening, depending where you are in the world? My name is, of course, Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. And this was going to be a video I was going to make this morning. I'd sat down to make it, and I said, there's just too much to talk about here. There is too much stuff to talk about. So I'll just go live. Then I thought, should I just go live this morning? I was going to go live at about like 1 o'clock UK time. Yeah, I thought that'd be nice, bit of Sunday brunch. I thought, well, then I'm going to miss everybody from the US. So I thought, I would push it off a bit. I should have done another video. I was going to do a review of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Nemo trilogy, which is, I would say, pretty darn good, pretty darn spiffing good. Fine. So let me, I was waiting for people to filter in. Let me just tell you a little bit about the living hell that is my life, the absolute living hell that my life has become right now. As you may know, we're in the middle of renovations here at the Rabbinic Towers. We had an insurance claim. We had a couple of wobbly tiles by my bedroom, and it turned into this massive insurance claim. We had to have all the bloody floors ripped out from the main floor of my house, which is my bedroom, bathroom, living room, dining room, kitchen on. I had all that ripped out, new floor put in. And so while we're doing that, my wife was like, we're getting a new kitchen, baby. We're getting a new kitchen. So we went all through with working out how to do that. And it's going pretty well. They're nearly in. They're nearly done. Okay. So my wife, I'm going to give you a bit of a teach you a Jewish word, spilkers. My wife is on spilkers because the next thing they have to do is put the new countertops in. We have new granite countertops. It's really important for us to have granite countertops because it's a Jewish thing. If you want to make them kosher, you have a holiday called Passover, and so you've got to make everything kosher. You either like cover them with foil and stuff, or you. That was just I think something outside. Anyway, you cover them with foil or stuff, or you can pour boiling water over them. You pour boiling water over them, that makes them kosher. But that only works if you have granite. So we're waiting for the granite countertops to arrive. And my wife is on spilkers. First finding the granite countertop, the right granite, and the correct countertops. So anyway, so that they were supposed to be delivered today, but it's coming tomorrow now, and we've seen it in the workshop. We're very nervous because we didn't have many choices of granite because we're on a shoestring budget, but we got something I think is really nice. So anyway, the upshot is we've been living downstairs in my basement. There's this room that you can see. There's my my man cave, which is that direction, my man cave, and I've taken on a tour of that before. We have a guest room. And we have a bathroom. Now, the bathroom, because it's in a basement, I'm getting into the living hell bit right now. The bathroom, because we're in a basement, needs a pump to pump water up from. And and we haven't we only just put the new bath, the actual toilets in the other day. But we don't have any, so that's the main bathroom and shower I've been using. They just finished remaking the shower in my bedroom, right? So everything. And then today, I flushed the toilet, and suddenly the pump normally makes sounds. And suddenly this time I went, and then went, and then boom, dead. So I can just hear my wife and the plumber. That's what I heard earlier. Looking at it right now. Hopefully they're going to say we can save it because we don't have anywhere on the floor I'm sleeping to go and pee in the middle of the night. And being a man of advancing years, I want somewhere to pee without having to go up a bloody flight of stairs to get there. I don't want to be able to shower because the workmen come at like 7 in, and so you got to be out the shower and dressed. But if I'm down here, no one's going to bother me. But no. So hopefully we this pump is either easily replaceable or salvageable. So that's the living hell. While I can hear going on in the background, I want to go and see what's going on, but no. So I want to talk about the Twitterati. So I'm relatively new to Twitter. I've been on Twitter for a while, but I've only just really started using it to promote the channel. That's really the only, and because like a lot of YouTubers I'm friendly with use Twitter, so Twitter is the social media of choice. It's fine. So I didn't really have a like a hands-on grasp of Twitter until I saw it. So now I'm seeing it. I am like, I'm just shocked. I really am. I'm genuinely like breathtaking. Like, how can what? How can people be this awful and this stupid? Yeah, that's really my main question. Fine. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat before we get going. Daniel Leach, you're the first one here. Hey, Rabbi. Hey, Daniel. Thank you for coming. Blue Bonnet. Oh, Blue Bonnet Hoopin, you're here. I'm glad I waited till 5 o'clock my time, 3 p.m. In the UK. How are you? Okay, just enjoying my coffee. Me too. How about you? I'm enjoying my coffee. Okay. Charlotte Shields, how are you? Good morning. I don't think it's a lot of rage is certain fans of the current era realizing it's fell. You are so right there, but I think it's actually something deeper. But you are so right there. The rage is defeat. Okay, because they don't take defeat well. These people, they don't take anything well because they just, there are life lessons that people learn in kindergarten, which these people haven't learned. Okay, but I got a real case example that we're gonna go into in detail, and it's fascinating. And I really think, there's no hope because no one's gonna come in and talk. It's been having these crazy cocktails parading around the front porch while we all point and laugh. They all have become the bane of fandom. I know this is going to be such an embarrassing age looking back, isn't it? Okay, well, just going through the chat. Who else we got here? Derek McManus, how are you? What is my favorite hat? My favorite hat. Well, obviously, so yeah, it's the keeper. That's the one. Although, if you're ever in synagogue in England, they wear these like ridiculous. The officers of the synagogue wear these ridiculous like weird hats. These weird hats. But this is my favorite hat right now because it was a gift. It was a gift from what was his last name? I think it was. Hang on a second. I've got it written down right here. It's from Darren. I can't remember if it was Darren or if it's Warren. There we go. This is my favorite hat. So I'm so touched. Somebody sent me this. They're like, yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for Corduroy. So my second favorite hat, as you asked, where is that one? Which I've lost. Here it is. My second favorite hat is this one because I really love Christmas. I love Christmas. So this is my second favorite. It was my favorite hat before somebody gave me this one. Gave me a hat. So yeah. So that's my favorite hat. And Zoe over Brittany. That's the other important thing we learnt last night. There's not really much challenge to defeat them in debate. That's why they don't want to debate you. That's Blue Bonnet said. That's why they don't want to talk because they know how ridiculous they are. That's why they clump together in like these little herds. Celtic Football Club baseball cap. Oh, there you go. That is a good club. Oh, that's me saying hello, everybody. Brie Larson now has a YouTube channel. Please go and downvote and leave a winning comment. I guess I should do that. I know everybody's been piling on it, but I was like, I saw the first like 3 or 4 minutes of her video. I was like, oh god, it's so painful. And it goes on. I thought I was just going to go and roast them, but I don't know. It seems just cruel. Gary Hewitt, how are you? Good afternoon. Colin B. Smith, good afternoon to you, sir. Scott W. Hell, how are you, Scott W? Scott W, you are the closest we have to somebody from the other side, and you're not that close to that. Yeah, I did survive the barber set, but you are the closest to somebody who can give us any sense and answers. Eastlyn, how are you? How are the chickens? How's the chicken named after me? I hope it is doing well. Did not remember that about the food preparation rules he follows. Yes, countertops need to be the right material. So we could get something much cheaper called Caesar stove, which isn't very good. But we're getting the pucker, nice granite. And it's like the thing is, you don't really see it until you get it. Like they sent us pictures of the one we picked out, but like we just hope it. I mean, I think it looks nice. I think it's gonna be good. let's see. I had a new ballock to the water tank a few weeks ago. Yeah, so it's all gone quiet in the bathroom, so that's fine. I don't know what's going to happen. If I hear him, when somebody dies in Jewish tradition, you rip your shirt and you say this memorial prayer called Kaddish, and then you sit shiva. So if I hear the ripping of the shirt, I know it's bad news for my bathroom pump. Kip Ellis, how are you? I have only been on Twitter. I've only been on this in October of last year. I am not impressed. It's a cesspool of videos. Yes, it is. Yes, Talas and Wing Chang, how are you? I always get excited when I see you do a super chat or a comment on Nerdrodic or another YouTuber that I'm on. I go, oh, I know him. I know, and I get all excited. It's true. I really do. Basically, whoa, just jump, but I'm pretty on top of the chat right now. Basically, people who claim to be so talented and price themselves incompetent and inept will either get a real estimate of their abilities or try. Well, actually, this is the person I'm dealing with. I'm going to be using Benjamin Cook as a case study because he's a pretty articulate guy. But boy, he just shows you everything that's going wrong. Then he's a guy in who's very much likes his position in the Fandom Twitterati. I discovered after looking at him. I mean, honestly, this is all my opinion. He should really just come on. If he could come on and have a right reply, that's fine. Whatever, he wants to block me, whatever. Which is something we're going to get to. Is there any relation to the blue, the Christmas hat being blue? That's the only. And they don't make. Was it? Say, oi, oi, oi. Yeah, they don't make like Jewishy Christmas hats in red. They do it in blue. What's the other? Was it the Elf on the Shelf? They did a Mensch on a Bench. And basically, everything Christmassy is red. Everything Jewish that people want to be Christmassy, they do blue. That's the, don't know why, that's just the way it is. Burrow is my favorite hot drink. Oh, now you're talking, mate. As Daniel Lee said, and again, I go for the options of white chocolate. And will I be cancelled? I don't know. But you know what's a really great drink? And I don't know what they would call it, if you can get it in England or America. It's called shaklap. That's my favorite drink, like hot winter drink. It's like thick, gooey white with cinnamon, and they put nuts in it, and I mean, essentially, it looks like cum. Okay, that's why I like to. I was like, that looks like a hot cup of cum. I gotta get some. I gotta try some because it's striking. And I thought I'd leave a little moustache in it. It's terrible. So, but the comedic value of it made me want to go for it. But it's actually a really good drink, Sakhalov. But I do like a bit of Bovril. Even though Bovril's not kosher, I have to have Marmite. I am fishing for interesting details to help me write. That the hat modeling helps. Okay, good. Glad to be of service. What else we got? You mean the TARDIS isn't kosher? Well, I'm sure they have a kosher. I think the food machine would be kosher. See, here's the question. Actually, I asked this question too when I was in rabbinical seminary. We would ask bullcrap questions whenever we wanted to goof off, and I was always really good at it. And like I had like one of the top rabbis in the world, this guy called Rabbi Berkowitz. He's now the head of a place called Asia Torah. But he's like seriously one of the top Jewish legal minds in the world, and he was teaching us. It was really so. I would always ask him questions that would like get him on the beaten track. Like, say, let's say you're a vampire, right? And you wanted to, you couldn't, not be a vampire, but you wanted to be a good boy. You didn't want to kill people. Yeah, what would you do? What would a vampire do if he wanted to repent and go in the in the better way? So he answered that question. He said, "You will drink fish blood because fish blood apparently." Isn't not kosher. Fish blood is not considered food. Not a lot of people know that. So what else did I ask him? I asked him a lot of these questions like that. So I asked him about replicator technology. Let's say with a replicator makes a cheeseburger. Now, cheeseburgers are not kosher because if you have kosher cheese and kosher meat, you put them together, you get not kosher. It's called treif. Okay, that's what just happens. Yeah, we have mixed meat and milk, not kosher. Just the way it is, mate. So I said, like, what happens if you make something not kosher? You make a lobster or shrimp or something like that with replicator technology. And the biggest problem would be this thing called Morris iron, that it would look like you're eating something not kosher, even though you weren't. I mean, it would technically be kosher. So my solution was, any replicator technology, and I guess the same will be true of the food machine and the tartar. I think this food machine and tartar will be even easier because it doesn't even look like it; it just looks like tablets, right? Yeah, or it looks like a bar of chocolate. What do they make with that? Steak and chips or something. I can't remember. They had one bite was this. So I imagine that the food machine is fine. Although there is obviously kitchens in the TARDIS. We knew that Colin Baker burnt supper one time, and it was supposed to be a cold supper. What was that? That would be. I'm going to guess Attack of the Cybermen. Okay, that's my guess. Scott W. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I support a sensible and reasonable point of view without being piled on by a rabid fanatical left. Really? Well, that would be the only way you could do it. Sometimes they even notice my song, but rarely. Again, Scott, you are our conduit, okay? You are our ambassador. Courage, how are you? Good afternoon. Good morning, I should say. I was going to say good afternoon. Thanks. To be honest, I feel the same way when I see you. Probably, yeah, I know. See, that's kind of like the nice thing about YouTube. I do think it's like some problem being. I was trying to find your Twitter address. Did I get your right Twitter handle? Because I thought you got it back, and I couldn't remember if this was your new one or your. I guess you got it because you're here now. Solus and Dara is what they are. Yes, they are. Fine. Yeah, it's been 15 minutes. Let's go. Let's start plowing into it, and we're going to look at. We'll start over here with Benjamin Cook, and then we're going to go look into the wonderful world of Chuck Wendig. He's the next person, and that one's going to take some while because that article goes on for freaking ever. But it really illustrates it. Fine, so let's look at this. Here we go. Oh, it goes. 1 second. One second. You know what? I'm just gonna ask my wife for a second if there's an update in the bathroom. Susan. Okay, I'm on a live stream. Is there any update on the people want to know? How's the pump doing? What? Oh, it's probably hair. Well, we'd have to be specific about who said. Okay, folks, there we have it. It's probably hair in the pump. Is it? Can you save it then? Oh, maybe. Wow, I think it's 10 years old. I thought it was dead for good. Okay, fine. So let's look at this. So yeah, I went onto his Twitter feed to get some examples. This was the first thing that jumped out at me. Okay, the first thing that jumped out at me. This guy from March 20th. So how many months ago that? April, May, June. Okay, we're talking 3.5 months old. This is 3.5 months old. And I don't know, did he just go trolling for it? He looks like he's really looking for something to be, to fight against. So Andy Goff says, I should imagine the vast majority of this group is delighted by the direction who has taken, and I am very much in the minority. Not over here, mate. Come in. The water's like, hey, but you know what? Even if you do disagree with us, come in over here. That moment's better if we could all just kind of live together. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be crazy that people disagreeing could, still coexist? Okay, 1 second. Oh yeah, I just took a nasal spray, but I don't want to do it on camera because it does look like I'm sniffing coke. There's quite a good French movie called Le Cop, where about a corrupt policeman and he gets a nasal inhaler and he puts cocaine in it for his boss. And so he basically gets him hooked. Was it heroin? He gets him hooked on it, so he has control over it. So I'm always unconscious that's going to be a problem. Okay. So Andy Goff goes on to say, I mean, very much familiar, but as I do not believe that Jodie Whittaker has been portraying the character in any way that resembles the Doctor. I agree completely, and that's really where what it comes down to. That she is capable, and then he goes on for a bit. So I don't know why, and this is really what we're going to be talking about. Ben Cook says decides he needs to talk down to him because that's really what Ben Cook loves. One of his favorite things, according to his Twitter. I'm just going on what I see. Again, Ben, for misjudging you, I genuinely apologize. I really do. I really genuinely do. And again, what I find interesting about this is Ben Cook is a genuinely intelligent and talented person, much the same as Paul Cornell. You know, a lot of these people. You know, I'm not a big believer in denying someone's talent. You know, when they have talent, they have talent. You know, so, but for some reason he feels the need to scold and to scold him, but he does it mildly. You clearly think so, and he goes, I don't know why. Is he looking for people? But Russell and Stephen have both been nothing but supportive of the current move. Yes, well, you know, they are professional people. You know, they are certainly professional people. I do they like it? I don't know. I really, genuinely don't know. They are classy gents. They are, Ben. But here's the thing: you're not. You're not, and I find this very perplexing. Right, so let's look at this. This is what first brought me to his attention. We had Connor Johnson. Now, Connor Johnson got nothing against you, mate. Absolutely nothing against you. You know, it seems that you did something. Yeah, look, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. It's called being, again, another Jewish word called being dam lechafskut, being putting yourself on the side of merit. You know, like I'm going to say, you know, it's always better to be that way with people. Which is again one of the things these Twitterati cannot do. They cannot view people they disagree with favorably in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, we're really going to get into the pathology of that as we go on. So he started the Jody Ad Doctor hashtag. Love that Jody Ad Doctor. Oh, didn't start it. He commented it. Is trending number 4 UK right now. Smite back in the. Okay, fine. So they got Jody Ad Doctor trending. Listen, it's nice. It's really nice. I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're happy. But it doesn't. Come on. Let's be honest with you. It doesn't make this era of Doctor Who in any way popular. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. The ratings are the ratings are the ratings. The AI is the AI is the AI. The sales data is the sales data. Nothing has changed. You know, like so season 13, if it does happen, and it's let's say and there's a good chance it will, because I think they it seems to me they're probably contractually obligated to make it somehow. So season 13, let's say it's 10 episodes long. If it continues the current trend, and there's no indication, no reason why it shouldn't in any way, and there's every indication this will probably be it'll probably be worse than that. You know, unless something radical happens, it'll probably be quite a bit worse than the trend. But if it follows the trend, it will start about 30% below where season 12 started. So season 12 started at what, around the 7s, I think. Yeah, I think it was around the 7. You know, I guess we should look it up. You know, so here's the thing: when you're dealing with people like this, you just got you have to be. You can't make any mistake, because they will think the absolute worst of you at any given opportunity, because that's who they are, right? So yeah, okay. So start off. Blimey, that's pretty bad. Started off at 6.9. I thought it started at 7. Wow, that's really bad, and that's the 4 screen number. That's like that's not overnight. It's 4.88. Wow, that's really bad. So yeah, so if it follows that trend, I'll start 30% under that. So that's like in the high 4s. Let's say low 5s. So yeah, if you're to be generous, let's say low 5s, and that's consolidated. Overnights would be 4.8. So that'd be overnights will probably be 3.5ish. You know, and then by the end of the season, it will drop another 30%, which will bring it into the 2s. You know, the data is the data. Nothing freaking changes. The data is the data. And honestly, if it had worked, if it was successful, if it's saying that the British public said, we love this new Doctor that doesn't resemble Doctor Who in any way, shape, or form. We love this. I'll be like, well, I guess I moved on. The world's moved on without me. This is not for me, right? Oh, Chris Berger, how you doing? Super John, how are you? So yeah, that would have been fine, but that's not what happened. So it's what clearly happened is it was a small clump of fans, the Twitterati, who screamed and screamed and screamed until they were sick, and they said, we got to have all this, the inclusion, and everything's got to follow what we want precisely. And the world's just going to love it. They're going to embrace it. They're going to say it's the greatest thing ever because the world's moved on. All these old white patriarchy, fogies, they're all their time's over and new time is here. It's time for and it wasn't that at all. So, they're all really mad because, they don't take defeat well. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but in 2016, there were a couple of elections that didn't go the way they wanted, right? There was a couple of elections. And they didn't really deal with that with particularly good grace. So fine. So let's look at this lack of good grace. And again, we're doing this for a reason. We're doing this for one second. You trying to get my attention? Oh, just hang on. We're doing this for a reason. So yeah. So he goes. He comments on this, and oh my god. He said, "Now I talked about this last week, but again, I'm new to this. This is something that's like a foreign world to me, and I spent a lot. Like yesterday was a Sabbath, so I'm offline. So I'm offline from like Friday afternoon, say like 7 in the evening until about 8:30 on Saturday night. So you're offline. I do a lot of reading, a lot of things. I just couldn't stop thinking about this, and again, let's lay everything out. So he needs to comment. Yes, it's almost as though the hashtag not my doctor lads. So what he's done here is he's created a new enemy. Because 2016 or at the beginning of 2017, the question was, is it okay to punch a Nazi in the face? Is it okay? Which the answer is yes, obviously. A real Nazi, yeah, okay, fine. Are we gonna? And that's what they wanted people to say. Is it okay to punch a Nazi in the face? And they said, fine. Everybody we don't like is a Nazi. Everybody doesn't matter. You voted this way. You're a Yahtzee. You voted this way. You're a whatever. He's made a new set of Yahtzees that are okay to punch in the face. The hashtag not my doctor. Now, I don't know anything about the hashtag not my doctor lads, but I do know that this incarnation of Doctor Who seems to me to be at the antithesis of Doctor Who. I mean, if you look at the thumbnail, where it's got Jodie standing next to all the people going there, like a Simpsons Jodie, going crazy. That's why I don't think she portrays the Doctor particularly doctor, because the Doctor wouldn't be on that side. I don't think he's on the side of rabid mob. Sanctuary of Keats. Hey, Rabbi, and everybody in the chat. Rabbi, I'd love you to code on your channel. I will code on your channel, but I also come on your channel, and I hope we're spelling it COME. For Ananda. Yeah, Jen, contact me. Listen. Ask Dan from Type 40. If you ever want, an opinionated rabbi to scream in the camera about any subject whatsoever, I have opinion on freaking everything. Sometimes I give like Pens reviews. I give everything a review. Okay, so it's really insufferable to live with, if I may say that. 1 second, is my wife still down there? Susan, are you still down here? You're high. Don't come on camera. But you can confirm or deny. Do I have an opinion about freaking everything? How much fun is that to live with? Lots. See, that's why she's the greatest wife ever. That's why, right there. I have to tell you, the reason that I fell head over heels in love with her, after our first date, I decided I wanted to marry my wife after because, like, in Jewish dating, you don't touch each other until you're married. So that's a bit different. But yeah, I decided, so that's actually pretty good. So you get to you get to know someone. We met via a matchmaker, a shotgun. Matchmaker, the whole thing. So, but then she deals with like people who weren't brought up religious, much like me and my wife. So, I lost a bunch of weight when she told me to, which that made the shotgun really like me, right? And she gave me her best girl she had in the books, which was my wife, because she came from Atlanta, which is where the shotgun had family. So this is how it goes in Georgia. So anyway, she didn't really understand much I said, but she did know when I was making a joke. You can tell by the inflection of it, but my accent was very heavy, and she laughed regardless if she understood me or if she didn't. I think that's pretty much all, most of the emotional support I need in life. Hi, would you like some toast? And to laugh at my jokes, and even if they're not good. So yeah, so that's why she is the greatest wife ever. No, I don't mean to disparage anybody else's wife, but she is the best. Fine. So yeah, so let's get back to Benjamin Cook. Yes, it's almost as a hashtag not my doctor lad. So again, I don't know if the hashtag not my doctor lads are really genuine, national socialists from the 1930s going, yes, oh, let's make anybody with a different skin color be disadvantaged. I doubt it. But, and this is how he describes it. Typing from there, cum-stained basement bedrooms with a boo-hoo and a wow. So, this shows me two things: that he's a talented writer. He is a talent. I like his very good use of phrase and expression, and he's also a bit of a potty mouth person, a bit of angry, I would say lowly person. I think it's like when you start talking about other human beings like this, what you do more than anything else is you belittle yourself. In my opinion, I just think you do. I think you make yourself into like a lower person. Again, there's a lot of Jewishy stuff we're having for a Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning. There's this Jewish concept which is freaking awesome, absolutely awesome, called Lashon Hara, which is that's not. It's a thing where you don't speak negatively, and you shouldn't. It's mostly about people, but don't speak negatively at all, right? And try and do that for an hour. Try and do that for a day, and if you make it like something that you're accustomed to. My wife just said it sounds better. We're talking about the pump again. If you make it something that you're accustomed to, you're a better person. So what's the good thing about being a better person is you're a happier person. And I think it's very clear from here that Ben is so deeply unhappy. And if you go and look at his Twitter feed, he is deeply like everything is a complaint. Everything is terrible. The world is awful, no matter what. And let's just see this in action. Are a tiny clump of self-entitled piss babies who use hashtag Doctor Who as a platform for their own unhappiness. Who'd have thought? It seems to me that that it was a small clump of people, piss babies, if you want to use that word, that very much wanted to remake Doctor Who to make it so. What I was going to do for the thumbnail for this, I'm probably going to use this on Thursday, on Tuesday, I should say, for my stream then, is because there was a report in the Express about the Rani coming back. She's not coming back. It was the Express, and everything in that article was wrong. Literally everything in the article was freaking wrong. But I was going to have, I was going to find like a prominent black actress looking at a script as a picture next to Chibnall. The actress will be going, I need to talk to you about this character, the Rani. Could you explain to me? And then Chris Chibnall cuts her and says, character? Oh, so all you have to do is look in the mirror. You'll notice your skin color and your gender. That's all you need to know about your character. And then the next balloon will be like, plus you're gay as well, of course. Then I might do a third balloon saying, white people, am I right? Sister, hashtag Black Lives Matter. Something like, because that's what's going on in his head. That's so clearly, obviously what's going on in his head, which I just think is a bit racist. I think it's a bit racist. I think it's actually the definition of racism, Fine. So, it seems to me there was a tiny clump of people who wanted Doctor Who remade in a different way, and then it's just not popular. It's been absolutely fallen off a cliff, and they will deny it till their faces blue. They will deny no. They will deny it, but it's still painfully true. It's still painfully true. So then they had this. Then Ben was in a bit of a quandary because they had somebody from the progressive stack, a woman, somebody on the progressive stack, said something that would be contrary to this. So we're like, oh, what do I do? I can't attack a woman. Yeah, and we're going to talk about this more in a bit. I can't attack a woman. Oh no! So that's what. So then he goes. He replies, "That's okay, heart. Oh, because I'm. It's okay, sister. You're a strong, independent, grown adult with opinion." So basically, I think she must have told him that he's an arsehole. But you're not so sad to take to Twitter to dump on Jodie and the fans who love her. Again, I don't dump on the fans who like Jodie. I do question them. I would love to talk to them a little bit more. I do question them because I really genuinely believe everybody. I know I can't imagine there's many people who don't fit in this category. everybody who loves this doctor, everybody who's hashtag Jodie our doctor, likes her gender. I don't think they would like her if she was male, right? If this doctor was portrayed by a man, I don't think they would. A white man, I don't think they would like it. And suddenly the stories would not be quite as good. That's my opinion. I think that's opinion based on quite a lot of startling evidence they keep giving us. So anyway, but you're not so sensitive on Twitter using pitiful hashtags like "not my doctor." Again, how is this hashtag pitiful, but hashtag Jodie our doctor not pitiful? How is that the case? Somebody explain to me. In a desperate attempt to fill the gaping hole in your own life, that's not you. And there, Ben, we are getting to the nub of the matter. Why are these people so incredibly unhappy? And they all are. They're all incredibly unhappy about a lot of things. Why are they all so miserable? Again, just look at the Twitter feed. Just look at the Twitter feed. There was this guy who, I don't even know who it is. It was like some conservative website, and him and a bunch of the other, Doctor Who elite Twitterati just clumped together and made fun of him. They clumped together. They go, for not for no reason. Everything is to make themselves feel better about themselves. Everything, it really, everything they do, every piece of bad behavior is to push people down. Is not to push them down. It's to elevate them. So let's, because they feel so low. Let's look at this one. So this was in response to. By the way, I did harp on him about going all the way back through Twitter. He does a lot. He goes back through our people's timelines to find stuff that he can go. He can point fingers and go, his favorite thing, and all these people, their favorite thing in the world is to be able to go, he is not of the body. He is unlike, and and they freak out and they love it. They love that more than anything else. I mean, it's one of their favorite things. So I too went back. So I went back there to get that quote about the piss baby quote, which I thought was really indicative. And just all this stuff, when I'm looking for it, came out and then after I found it, I screen grabbed it. I found it. I put it, and then I found, oh yeah, I already saved it about a week ago. So there you go. So this was in response to to Ben asking people to buy Doctor Who magazine. And again, Ben, what you don't understand, you're in a creative industry, right? And you're not in the economy you were 6 months ago. This is not the economy of 6 months ago, where you can make something what's going on? Something sounds like it's going on in there. Oh, okay. I hear the pump a little bit more. Anyway, where was I? That pump. So yeah, he was plugging Phantom Films, who are really hurting as well. But Ben, you got to understand, because of your attitude, because of how disgusting your language is, and your language is disgusting. It's lowly. It belittles you. And again, you are a man of talent. You're a man of intelligence. I think you're a man who has received some incredible breaks. And you're a man who I don't think is grateful for every wonderful thing in your life. I just think it's, and again, we're going into the pathology of how you got there, because I think you're indicative of an entire generation of people. By the way, I think this is a slightly older generation than people think. People think it's just kids. Because when you're like me, you look at people under 30 and you go, oh, you all look the same. I can't tell you apart, right? I have no clue who anybody is. But I was talking to my daughter who's like, was it 19, 20? I really should know. She's 19. She's 20 this year, I think. And she'll say, no, it's not my generation. It's the people older than me. My generation are just want them all to shut up like everybody else does. So it's not even. So it's like an isolated group. It's not like a big group, and they're aging out, which is the point, which is the real point here. Fine. So anyway, so he was asking people to buy subscriptions to Doctor Who magazine, buy Doctor Who magazine, and also plugging Phantom Films. Even in fact, Doctor Who magazine I've had all my life, and I won't let somebody's bad behaviour dictate what I will or won't do. In general, I don't let anybody else's behaviour dictate my actions in any way. If I want something, I will buy it, even if it's by somebody I do not like. If Paul Cornell writes a Doctor Who story, and it's not Jodie, he writes a book or does an audio, or I would even, I would really watch with interest a Jodie Doctor Who story that he did. Whatever, I would buy that, even though I really dislike him as a human being, because I do from everything I've seen. I still won't let their bad behavior deprive me of something I want, which is a good Doctor Who. I want Doctor Who. So anyway, so this person is saying, responding to him, asking people to buy Doctor Who magazine. So he says, "You and the Fandom in crowd, fantastic work." He's absolutely like the Fandom in crowd. Oh yeah, all the authors for Big Finish, all the people who write for Doctor Who magazine, they all clump together in one clique, and they love that, the exclusivity of their clique. They love it. They absolutely adore it, and they will. And a lot of it is for them to get a higher status within their tiny. They are the tiny clump of piss babies. It's just what it is. So you and the Fandom in crowd called us alt-right because we don't like the appalling ways icons like the Master, Hartnell, and the Doctor himself or herself have been treated. I would say most people were reasonably open-minded to a female Doctor. Most fandom. Listen, I was, and I'm quite belligerently not now. And I think those that weren't could have been won over by good Doctor Who, right? If they made it good, and they could have done. They could have done. They made good Doctor Who. They probably would have won everybody over. In my opinion, I think they would have won everybody over, but they didn't. They didn't. Hartnell has been treated. You smugly declare the new Fandom with the Claudia Bolins. What is it, Claudia Bolins? I'm going to look that up. But a bit of ignorance makes for good YouTubing. So Claudia. What's her name? Claudia. What's her name again? Bowens. Who is she? No. So do you mean Claudia Bowens? No, I mean Claudia Bowens. I still don't know who she is. Musical art? Who the hell? I have no clue. Okay, listen. Maybe let me have a quick look. If anyone in the chat can tell me who she is now, I'll I'll keep trying to keep an eye on it. Yeah, they could have a female. Yeah, Colin says they could have a female Doctor. They could cast somebody, anybody other, or maybe even Jodie Whittaker could have done it had she been in some way prepared for the role. Yeah, some way. So anyway, so that Colin Byrne, and now you're begging us to come back. F off. So saltier language than I would have used. But okay, but fine. And you know what? I don't think that's quite as disgusting a language as we get from Ben Cook. And Ben will probably go, you don't like it? No, you don't like somebody using language? No, I don't mind a use of profanity. I actually love use of a good profanity. I really, really do. But this isn't good use of profanity. This is just belittles you in every way. It shows you to be a really spiteful little small person. So he goes, you, you know what? A customer is a customer is a customer. If you don't like him, if you don't like what he says, don't reply. Don't do this. This is the absolute last thing you should do, because this will leave you unemployed. Mate, DWN is a magazine about Doctor Who, made by people who love Doctor Who. I doubt it. For people who love Doctor Who, not so much, really. And that's not you. You see, he's back to saying, "Can you punch a Nazi in the face?" Yes, he's a Nazi. Blah. You're just an angry Ben. I think the pot's calling the kettle black there, don't you? Yeah, you still have to say that? Probably not. I think Ben, you're in a glass house, mate. Woman hating. How do you get woman hating? Transphobic turd. Transphobic. That's the one they love. That's the insanity. That is their religion. It really is. That's their religion. They can't. They keep screaming how important science is when they're talking about climate change. they go really quiet about science when they come when they talk about trans issues, and like this definition of transphobia that you come this kind of catch-all definition that says anybody who doesn't agree with you is now evil and they can be spat at is not good for you, mate. It's not good. If you were the last man alive, DWM wouldn't want you as a reader. And then you go, F&T bye. Like, really? Like, do you think that makes you sound good? Do you think that makes you sound like, oh, wow, I respect that guy? Do you think that makes you sound good? It doesn't. It makes you sound really, really, really bad, Ben. It makes you sound really bad. And again, I'm talking about Ben Cook, but this is all of them. He just has to be a little bit better, a better writer and more articulate. But this is all of them. None of them sound good at all. So then she goes, look, I'm a woman hater. That's why I write these articles. So then he ends up, nice try. He's got this delusion. He's got this illusion that he's fighting this war. And we were trying to confuse him. No, you're not. No one. This war is in your head, mate. This war is completely in all their head. That's just mental. Now, F off out of my mention. Again, it doesn't make you sound good. I've read your tweets. All right, you're not even one of the interesting ones. You're just boring. Hey, Ben, I wouldn't call you boring, but I would call you predictable. Like, very predictable. And half your mentions are people telling you to F off. So that sounds like he likes to engage with people who are like you. So let me add to the chorus. F off, you sexist cockwomble. And again, I think he thinks he sounds funny. I think it makes him sound good. So now this was a personal one. This is where he's this Twitter thread. Oh my God, when he went after Noel from the Tartar Zone was absolutely. I mean, I didn't realize how bad it was till I looked at it. And it's the same as this other one where he's going after this other. Again, their Twitter, they clumped together. He went after this guy. Who was it? Let me see if I can find the tweet. But it shouldn't be hard. It went on for like hours, and like tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet. So yeah, it was another big thing that they're into. And again, I find this really, really kind of gross. Is that Earl Cameron, the actor who played an astronaut in what's it called again? In 10th Planet, passed away. I wish him speedy. Angels speedily carry him to the whatever his afterlife would be. I wish him the best, and my condolences to his family. But why is he so like obsessed? Like, he's very, very. It makes a point of being able to show everybody how sad he is about Earl Cameron. Well, the answer is if you just look at his skin color, right? His skin, and that's really, I think, the only thing that really matters to people like him. All right, so this one, it was this thing called Reason UK. And basically he was saying, okay, let me read the tweet. Tomorrow I'm launching Reason UK by Darren Grimes. I don't know who any of these people are. Again, if they may be, baby eaters for all I know. Oh, do we have any news? You need my phone. There you go. Oh, that phone. Oh, how's it going in there? What? Don't know. Do you want me to get that for you? Flashlight, no problem. There we go. Okay. Where were we? Fine. By the way, I should just point out, my wife doesn't normally greet me using with a face mask. We're not that careful about Corona House. I think it's because something to do with the plumber, the bathroom. So yeah, this thing going on forever. Oh yeah. So Reason UK. This guy says, "I want you to join us in thinking for yourself and not following the online mob." Oh, so that's what made him crazy, because he loves the online mob. He feels safe with the online mob. He doesn't want an online mob challenge anyway. I want you to join us in standing against the idea that standing against the tide and helping to bring reason fight back to this madness. I want you to join Reason UK. So, okay, again, I don't know what's going on with this guy, but that seemed pretty reasonable. And again, look, just go and look at it. So then it's like you see him with all the the Doctor Who Twitterati, Eddie Robertson, like all of that. They spent hours going over and over talking about how terrible this guy is, and then Twitter feed moves to how terrible was it Keir Starmer is. Honestly, actually, where is the tweet that he sent me? Which is, I think that's what we'll end up on before we move on to something else. Let me see. Yeah, again, I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a Twitter savant, so I really don't know what I'm doing. So everything takes me a little bit longer. I am genuinely a boomer. But this was when he was having his Barney with Noel, like going on and on and on and on and on. I said, look, Ben, I was trying to like make better peace, talk to him, see if he can calm things down a little bit. No, he was not up for that. Where was that? I should I'm getting close. I'm sure. Where was it? I should be able to find him on my Twitter feed now. And I can't. I can't. You know what? Fine, forget it. But like, okay, fine. So then this is just an example of his tweet to know. Oh no. Oh, again, you're talking in emojis. Not good. It's not good. It's not. It's not fun. It's not fun. It really isn't, mate. You and a handful of angry #not my doctor dudes crying in their bed. Again, I don't think Noel is a not my doctor. But again, I don't know what the big deal is. I have erased her from my head canon. As soon as I can find a way of properly cauterizing it out of Doctor Who forever, which might mean Capaldi. I'll just say there's nothing after Capaldi. If that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. Because unless there's good Doctor Who, if there's good Doctor Who, I want to come back here. Thank you. Oh, there you go. If there's good Doctor Who, I'll watch it. But I don't care the gender or anything. So, but yeah, he's not even one of these people crying in the basement, still having the debate. But should a woman be allowed to play the Doctor? It's 20 No, everybody's moved on. Everybody's moved on from that debate. We now went, maybe they could have done, but not this. This is freaking awful. But again, they like to move the goalpost to something that they feel comfortable with, and that's really very, very indicative. The rest of the world has moved on. It's boring now. It's not boring enough for you, Ben, not to take. How many hours did it take to go through Noel's Twitter feed and pull out the things that you thought it was okay to lambast him for? Right? Again, that is a thing you guys love the most of anything else, to be able to point to somebody and say, you are different! You are different and we hate you! We hate you because you're different, because you're terrible and we're better. It's all about raising themselves up because they feel so low. So why do they feel so low? And that's what I was thinking about over Shabbat, over the Sabbath. Like, why is there all this self-hatred and self-loathing and anger? And so the first thing I thought of is it's a lack of gratitude. So, like, again, Ben Cook, a very talented gentleman, a good talented writer, given incredible breaks. He wrote a book with Russell T Davies. That's an incredible break. He's in with this an incredible break for a writer. It's incredible. So, like, okay, so there's that. It's also, no matter how much you want to like rage against the world, if you're somebody who cares about bigotry and racism, and you live in the Western world, you are living in the least racist, the least bigoted society in the history of our species, in the history of our planet. I would have thought that would be something to be somewhat grateful for. And there's a lot of things to be grateful for. Like the 12-step program involves writing a gratitude list, and it's such a brilliant thing to do. Such a brilliant thing to do, because it makes you realize how freaking wonderful your life is. And that's something that none of these people realize, that how wonderful their life is, because they don't have gratitude for anything. And it's really very good. So I'm thinking, what is it makes people be able to have gratitude and not? So I don't know what his personal situation is. My guess is he's single and he doesn't have children. That's my guess. I mean, again, just going through his Twitter feed. And I remember Russell T Davies was always talking about how young he was. So that was in 2010, right? And I remember he wrote a very good, I think it was him, wrote this very good review, a very good like piece about the making of the Screamer Schalke, where they had to made him sit in a broom closet outside. It's a really good story. It's a really good article. So that was 2003. So let's say he was 20 in 2003, which means he's 37 now, or 36, 37 now. Let's say he's 35 even. And you're 35 and you don't have kids. So what? I understand. Not everybody has kids. Okay, not everybody can do it. But this is what having kids does for you. It makes you have to be selfless. It makes you have to swallow your pride. It makes you have to do what you need to do rather than what you want to do. And without that, you're lacking. And again, if you don't have children, this is no attack on you. I'm not being ranking on you. This is my observation of life. If you don't have that that grilling, that training, I'm not talking about doing it for an hour. I'm not talking about doing it for a week. Not talking about doing it for a month. I'm talking about as part of your life. Like if you have to stay up, get up in the middle of the night to feed a baby, or if you have to let a 17-year-old scream that he hates you, and you have to do it to make them be the good people they want to be, because you're not the people. I think it's Louis C.K. who said that you're not raising the kid, you're raising the adult you want them to be. I have to tell you, I'm really, really proud of all my kids. Like they're all basically adults now, and that takes a hell of a lot of sacrifice, a hell of a lot of selflessness. And and I'm not saying I'm a wonderful guy, because I'm saying this is the norm. This is what normal people do. And it's just like built into life that makes you into a decent person, which I don't think he's had, which I don't think any of them have. And I think that's why they're all so deeply, deeply miserable, and they're scared. Now, why do I think they're scared? They're scared because they will only go after targets that they feel is safe. If they'll go after no, because they can clump together, and no handles it very well. But he will get angry about it. I don't know what I would be like in his situation, which was like he's really been the target of a targeted attack. It's disgusting. They made what's that? Something like 40 fake accounts, and I wouldn't even think of this. It's so crazy. Make about 40 fake accounts. And they had one for Bolstrek's daughter, right? To say the most ridiculous things, and then they can say, "Oh, look how ridiculous Bolstrek is," because they say it's coming, and then it gives them arguments that they can cope with. Yeah, they only go after people they feel safer. You'll notice nobody ever directly engages with Nerdronic. Nobody ever directly engages with him because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. We're about the same age. He's like a year older than me, right? We don't care. Like, Ben, you can call me whatever, you can block me, all these things. Nobody cares. I mean, nobody cares. We don't care. So, that's why I think I'm relatively safe, because, I've had people try and attack me, and I just, the way to do it is to wish them well, and not care. Don't care, because that's what they want. They want to rise out you. They want to rise out you so much. Why? Because their lives are shattered, empty, meaningless shells. Everything they say about you is they're talking about themselves. Like good science fiction. Good science fiction is never talking about the future. Good science fiction is always talking about today. Like Battlestar Galactica is so talking about post 9/11 America, right? Good science fiction is an allegory talking about today. Start the original Star Trek. There's so much in there. So much in there. So they're all like these incredible, disingenuous liars that they do whatever they can to make themselves feel better about themselves, which is normally clumping together, and anyone stepping outside of the prescribed thought pattern must be vilified, right? Must be destroyed. Which brings us to this wonderful tweet I saw retweeted by Gareth Roberts, who I listen. If anybody knows Gareth Roberts, I would love to get him on the channel. I would love to get him on the channel. I just love. He's one of the few Twitter feeds I really genuinely enjoy. Listening to, reading. So, is it? J.K. Rowling, who has now been cancelled, obviously, which sent them all into paroxysms because, like, wait a minute, they all grew up reading J.K. Rowling, right? And suddenly J.K. Rowling says, "Yeah, you guys are all freaking crazy. You guys are all full of crap. You're all crazy." And she said it in the nicest way possible. So somebody says, "I feel like cis women." Okay, calling people cis women is such a stupid term. Like J.K. Rowling are the kind that resent their own ovaries for giving them emotions and feelings. Like, bitch, give me those. Like, that sounds crazy. To which J.K. Rowling replied, because she's an incredibly talented author. I missed it. Where'd it go? So true. Without my ovaries, I wouldn't have feelings or emotions. My husband is basically a fleshy robot incapable of feeling pain or pleasure, whereas I, with my ovaries, am a frantic whirl of giddy emotion. Yeah, basically, she takes the piss, and that's the best thing to do with the people. Take the piss, take the piss. So now we're going to go into So that I want to seg into just how incredibly disingenuous they are. Wait, can I search my Twitter feed for Benjamin Cook? Let me try that because I know it's here somewhere. Because I want to get it right. Benjamin Cook at Biblical Comics. Let's see what comes up. Nothing. No results. Oh, what's it? Benjamin Cook. I'll try spelling it right, see if anything comes up. Top. Oh, this might be the thread. Let's have a look. That might be it. Let me see if I can find him. Okay, yeah. So I'll just read this out rather than screen sharing it. So I'm asking, basically said, yeah, but I think when you get down to the views on transgenderism, which is what he was using as his excuse to lambast Noel. Where is it? What was this stupid thing you said? Besides, he said, thanks. One second. It says something about cis men. I can't find it. But it basically says, like, why would I want to listen to a bunch of cis men talk about being trans? Which is, I was going to say, like, I had a snarky response, but I decided not to do it. Yeah, the snarky response would have been, it's so nice. It's so nice now that you care about listening to people who have been marginalized and had face bigotry, because for the last few years, everybody of your ilk wouldn't listen to one bloody Jew. You wouldn't listen to any of the Jews who kept telling you this bigoted little leader that you've chosen, this racist, this absolutely unquestioned racist, and they will fight you till they're blue in the face. They'll fight you like on the Doctor Who ratings. That Jeremy Corbyn wasn't racist, that isn't anti-Semitic, and again, all you need to do is know the actual definition of the word, and they do get a bit scared when it comes to me, because I'm a rabbi. And I do know about these things a little bit more than that. Most of them don't know what a blood libel is, which is like the absolute core. So none of them really gave a crap about bigotry when it was their bigotry. None of them really shed a tear. And in fact, most of them told the Jews that they were either lying, they were disingenuous, they were really, everything was politically motivated, we're making it all up, or we're stupid. That's basically what we heard for years and years and years from all your friends, Ben, and probably from you too. Judging by your Twitter feed. Fine, let me go through the chat. See if if anybody want to talk to me, I hope you put @Lebekin. That normally gets my attention. I'm looking over here. Live chat. Let's have a look. See if anyone can find. Fine, go back a bit. Scott W, being part of an in crowd with Chibi and Co. has this is by Scott W. Being part of an in crowd with Chibi and Co. is not the same as being with Terrence Dix or Russell D Davis or Robert Holmes. Well, he's part of the in crowd with Russell D Davis, I think, and probably Moffat as well. You know, I would have thought so. Is there anything else I'm missing here in the chat? Oh, is that the only one? That's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. I'm keeping up to date. Going through the chat. Good. Okay. If anyone look, the quickest way to get me is message me by Twitter. Then I will respond to you straight away. Derek Mallet says Mr. Coleman is not a fan of Jewish folk or Israel, nor is he a big fan of unionist Protestant people in Northern Ireland. Yeah, he's not a big fan of any people who he keeps saying, "Oh, we've got to talk to terrible people so we can make peace," but he doesn't talk to the good people as well. He's like, "I'll talk to my good friends Hamas." Maybe we shouldn't tell Benjamin, but should Trump be president like in 2016, but the rest of the world has moved on? It's boring now. Oh, God. Listen, there's no good going to come out this next election. Either Trump loses and America burns and falls and becomes like Venezuela within 3 months. 3 months. And I'm telling you, every Jew should run for the pills. They just get on a plane to Israel. We'll have you here. That's why Israel exists. So you can run. Why do you think Israel's full of French now? So all the French Jews had to run from France. But it's going to be exactly the same. Although I tend to think it's probably going to be more like the British election, and the Democrats are going to be just destroyed. I do. Actually, the reason I have a really bizarre prediction model for politics, which has proved insanely accurate. I am on I would say 94% accuracy rate, and that's all filtered through my worldview of being a crazy Bible thumping religious nutball. Because I just think, I think when God chooses a champion, he chooses somebody that the Satan in Christian terminology, who is not really a guy with horns or even a guy with a TV show on Netflix. I think the Satan is more like an ethereal force with no real physical personification. But I think I think if God was to choose a champion, the Satan, that force, the force of evil in the world, has to come and attack that. So when God chooses a champion, he chooses somebody that the Satan won't look at. So King David is a great example. King David was born from was it the Moabite and Moab, from two that should I say not very nice tribes of people, and they and so the Satan would not see them. Like basically the King David was the ultimate was it the ultimate was it 200 years later, but both tribes that he came from were born out of incest. It's a much longer story that we have time for today. But so I just think Trump is I think he's done. I have no problems with him. He's been great for Israel, great for the economy, and everything everybody said about him hasn't pretty much come to pass. But listen, if you don't like him, that's fine. That's cool. Everybody has their own outlook. But if he's somebody who doesn't seem that holy. He doesn't seem particularly holy. Like the whole thing about stooping porn stars. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, that sounds pretty darn likely. Nobody was like, no, that cannot be. Right? That cannot be. Everyone's like, yeah, okay. People were a bit disappointed. She was a bit skanky. But nobody thought that didn't happen. Svi, I was a Labour Party voter until Commie Corbyn came along. So many Jews, I'm telling you, so many freaking Jews were Labourites their entire life and were partyless, much like you. Disowned the party and voted Tory in the last two general elections. Don't vote for anti-Semitic communists. And they were socialists. Anti-Semitic socialists. They're all freaking anti-Semitic. It's crazy. Fine. So the whole thing about Ben Cook being like really upset about bigotry and racism, wasn't so upset when it was on his front door. Like, did he protest Corbyn? I doubt it. I really doubt it. If he did, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Listen, if I'm wrong, I will apologize to you right to the face. I have no problem apologize. I have no problem being wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. Fine. So that's what I think. They're incredibly disingenuous. which leads me to this other article, which is a long one, which is why I thought we'll go live with it rather than doing a video. Because by the time I'm done, it'll be like an hour or two anyway. There you go. That's the one. Here we go. So Chuck Wending was kind of ground zero for SJW authors, right? He really was. And he was so bad, he was so hateful that he got fired by Marvel and Disney before being too hate. Okay, these are people, these are companies that really had no problem with you being hateful to their, to their customers. So the headline is, and it's a wonderful headline. It really is. Fiction author Jane Gates, don't know who she is, claims former Star Wars author who was fired, Chuck Wendig, stomped all over women to prove he's the best feminist. I believe this 100%. Yeah, you got to believe women, but I believe this 100% So let's read. This goes on for ages. So let's. I'm just going to read the tweets. So starts with Carla McGee, Professor Pie, whoever you are, I have no idea. While I'm here, how about that time Mike Cole spent an evening leering at me at the Emerald City? Yeah, Emerald City Comic Con, trying to pull me onto his lap and told me he wanted to piss on me. Whoa, that just escalated. Wanted to piss on you? Really? That's just weird. You ever see Misfits? So Misfits, great show. There's this it's about a bunch of youths who get superpowers while they're on a community service for their misdeeds. And one of their superpowers is the woman who is just gorgeous. This woman who played it was absolutely gorgeous. I haven't seen her in anything since, and it's just a crime. So her superpower was that if anybody touched her, they became overpowered with all their darkest sexual desires. So the guy from Game of Thrones, great actor, I quite like him. Played the bad guy who married. I can't remember his name anymore from Game of Thrones. Married the redhead, Stark, whatever her name was, and was a psycho. That guy. So he was in it. And when she touched him, he goes crazy. One of his lines was, "And I want to piss on your tits." So what the hell's up with that? Until another SFF writer tore him from being a creep. So this was your boy Zach take on all this. They attack easy targets they don't have to worry about. And why? Because it's all coming out now over the last few weeks of just how much abuse and sexism and Me Tooing there has been in the comic book industry. And so, they stay silent about that. They were complicit in that. They stay quiet about that the entire freaking time, right? So they never attack the people. So maybe they feel a need to compensate for that, which is what's going on. Which is why they clump and they attack people they feel it's completely safe to attack. Somebody who won't no, again, I don't think is going to they might get a rise out of Noel, but they don't feel that Noel is going to hurt them, right? I just don't think they're going to come after me so much. And again, Nerderotic, but they'll all say, "Oh, we hate Nerderotic," but none of them will engage him directly, right? Which is kind of the experience I have. So then we have Jane Gates. Jane Gates goes on this thing and says, "Oh man, F it. I'm going to get hit for this, and I don't care." A white male author was outed for grooming WOC. So grooming is weird. Grooming is when you get a kid, right? And then you you prepare her to be your sexual conquest in some way or another. You spend a couple of years or anything being, making her feel like that she has to leap into bed, and then or however long. I'm not a groomer, so I don't know. But can you groom an adult? I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But okay, I believe he was doing it. So he was grooming WC, a woman of color, for punishing them by blocking them from the professional spaces. Okay, now it gets more interesting. If they turned him down, that's terrible. Has been outed for fantasizing in a public space about urinating or something. We're back to urinating on people. What is up with that? Listen, I consider myself to be a reasonably dirty person, right? I'm a reasonably sexual and dirty person. I feel I'm a broad-minded guy. It's never occurred to me to take a piss on something. What the hell? That's crazy. Listen, if you're somebody who wants to take a piss on somebody for your own sexual gratification, you're doing it wrong, okay? That's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so she carries on. He's made half-assed apologies every time, blaming his intensity and being drunk. I know other victims who are terrified he'll think they spoke up because he's affiliated with law enforcement and military and has a lot of power. And you all are just like, oh no, he apologized. We cool. And see, that's the thing. That's what people in comic they say. We thought he stopped. We thought it. What the hell? And yeah, as an aside, about me tooing, what's doing with Kevin Spacey? Okay, either he raped a bunch of boys, right, or did a bunch of bad. I don't know what he was supposed to do. Either he did all that stuff, right? He did all that stuff. In which case, send him to jail, have him go to trial, have him be censored in some way or another. Like send him to jail. Or if you can't do that, then let him be in movies again. And why am I saying that? He's a freaking great actor. I love him being a villain. But like, if he did that, then send it. That's what we have in society, right? To deal with this. No, I'm not naming him. I get brigade by supposed allies if I do. Yeah, I believe that. Fine. So let's keep going. Meanwhile, you have the Filipinx author who made the mistake years ago and apologized, and I have no idea what Filipinx is, and threatened to shut out of the business permanently for some problematic in-game content. Never apologize. Never ever apologize. You have an Indian American author an editor who used his poison to groom women. I tell you, it's so weird. Have you ever thought, like, all these people are grooming? Have you ever thought of saying, would you like to get dinner? Can I buy you a drink? Yeah, would you like to go and get coffee? Like, yeah, the thing normal people do. Normal, but just ask them on a freaking date. Don't groom them. Say, would you like, and then see if you like each other, right? Move on beyond the like, oh, I want to leap on them and have sex. No, work at it. Try and find people you like as well as you're attracted to, or you think you have a chance with. I think it's more the case. And our American author who outed for touching a woman in a bar then got hit with racial attack. Arab pig terrorists. We literally have screenshots of racists claiming they made stuff up. Apologized badly, blacklisted from the industry. Meanwhile, the same people going after these POC, these authors are control. Exactly. This is the point. Are doing a contortionist act to defend these white men. It doesn't matter that they're white men. He was just all good. He's just intense. He didn't know. No, it's not that they're white men. They're trying to protect them. It's not because they're white men. It's because they are powerful people and they've invested time into currying their favor, and they don't want to blow their rest. Because really, what they want more than anything else, I mean, what they love is being able to clump on people and swarm them and attack them. They love it. That's what they love. It makes them feel so good about themselves because they feel terrible about themselves because they have no life. They've not, bottom line is this: like, this is something that I heard from the rabbi that made me religious, Rabbi Noach Weinberg of blessed memory. He had many pretty cool things he would teach, but this one, he said, if you see a baby, babies are just cute, like clean them up a little. Although I tell you, my oldest daughter, she was cute from the moment she came out. She was just a cute baby. Babies are cute, but if you have a 5-year-old who's doing the exact same thing in development in the same place as the baby, it's a tragedy. We all know it's tragic. It's an absolute tragedy. Same too. If you have a 10-year-old whose development is 10-year-olds are great. I tell you, I really enjoy 10-year-old. 10-year-old is a great age. But if you have a 10-year-old who's stuck developmentally in a 5-year-old, it's tragic, absolutely tragic. 15-year-olds are a bit more obnoxious, but they're still really kind of cute because they're all full of themselves, right? They're like all their hormones going there. they're discovering their sexuality and they're just messed up and like, bleh! And they're kind of cute. They go from being like little baby kids who want to huggy snuggles, and then to be all big brave people who want to be left alone. They're very, very cute. But if you have a 15-year-old doing stuff a 5-year-old, 10-year-old does, or a 5-year-old does, it's tragic. It's tragic. Even 20-year-olds are cute, because 20-year-olds are just starting on life, and you can see they got their whole life ahead of them, and they got that drive, and they got that the energy of youth, which is wonderful, and it's just fantastic to see, right? But if you have a 20-year-old doing something a 15-year-old is doing, it's tragic. It never stops. When you have a 25-year-old, 25 is a pretty good age. 25, I got married when I was 24. I would say that's a good age to get married and to stay married. If you can do it, it will make your life happier if you can do it. 25 is great. But if a 25-year-old is still doing the same thing as a 20-year-old doing, it's tragic. If you have a 30-year-old and a 30-year-old still doing the same thing as a 25-year-old doing, it's still tragic. If you have a 35-year-old still doing the same thing that a 30-year-old does, it's tragic. So we got Ben Cook, who's mid-30s. Let's be generous, mid-30s. Seems to me he's stuck doing the same things he was doing when he was 20. Seems to me he's doing exactly the same thing. And it's tragic. And that is the emptiness in their lives. It's good to care for people, right? It's good to be selfless. It makes you happier. It's counterintuitive, but it makes you happy. And again, you go and look at any of these people's Twitter feed, they're not happy people. They're not happy people. They are miserable people with low character. So F you and your racist double standards. Yeah, again, because that's all they have. Call men to account, but do it equally. Fair enough. It keeps going. Stop letting white men. Okay, stop letting. Jama, well, whatever your name is. Stop. Don't limit it to men or white men. Yeah, stop letting people off. Treat people actually. Stop punishing POC like you're happy, like you're just happy you found a safe way to be racist. That's so true. That is so true. Oh, they're like, yeah, and it's and it's always the people who scream about bigotry that you find in blackface. Like Justin Trudeau, was anybody shocked? I wasn't. Like, really? Like, blackface is it's a weird thing to go. Each of those incidents I spoke of was filled with people who were gleeful about the chance to go after POC men. They weren't gleeful to go after, I don't know if they were gleeful to go after black men, right? I'm not sure. They were gleeful to go after someone. They were gleeful it wasn't them. It made them feel powerful. White people are building their credibility by going on POC. Okay, now you've just gone crazy. But this crazy person is pointing to a crazy person. And anybody who points out the racism in Me Too and then turning around and using that to shield white... what is this with you? White predators is not okay. What about a black predator? Really? like, oh, he's raping me, but at least he's black. Ah, well, okay then. It's just my white privilege. I'll be quiet. Really? That's a bit crazy. That's a bit crazy, isn't it? And I'm not talking about Paul Krieger in the. I don't know Paul Krieger, the FYI. I'm talking about other men who did effed up and men who did effed up, who did F up and needed to be held accountable. But so do white men. Okay, fine. So let's get. Are we going to get Chuck Wendig ever? Also, Me Too has turned into a feeding ground for white men to prove how good they are. Okay, yeah, how good they are at feminism. That is feministic. That is true, 100%. Because the more like strident you are, the more respect you get in their peer group. So like Ben Cook, his little like Twitterati Doctor Who, quasi celebrity. Writers, the more strident they are, the more status they have. And that's what it's about, because they have no status. Why? Because their lives are completely empty. Why is their lives empty? Because they're still doing what they were doing when they're 20, 15 bloody years later. Their lives are completely empty. They make a lot of noise when somebody is outed, but they don't do the work when no one's looking. Oh my God, this is about. I'm only about halfway through the page. Like, where are the calls for contracts to be dropped, book tours to be cancelled, companies cut ties, mutual friends to be removed? Okay, none of this should be happening. Well, I guess if they are like grooming and raping people, maybe they should. I don't know, because that happens when oh God, BIPOC are outed. I don't know what they're. Now you've lost me. You lost me a while ago. When women f up, they don't even pretend to have the same standards apply to their butters. Well, again, that's true. And it's not like the guys. It's not just the guys. The female authors, I have screenshots defending the guy the last time it happened and talking about how noble he was, noble he was, who are now happy to exclaim how everybody should have known. Oh, are we getting close to anything? There are a lot of people claiming that they don't know, they don't approve of his behavior. People who just saw his apology 2 years ago and jumped to let everyone know he was a changed man and everyone should forgive him and stop talking about it. His buddies knew. See, that's the thing. They love compassion. They love empathy. They love forgiveness. But only to people they like. You know. So Kate Welch, whoever she is, said, "Look, please don't let Mike Cole off the hook again with his weak ass apology return. I don't know who any of these people are. Which thank God for that. The only way he has changed his behavior is becoming vicariously obsessed with the Me Too movement. He calls it. Source: I dated him mid 2018. Never date these people. Tuesday. So we're back to Jane Gates again. I wonder what she's got to say about white men again. Tuesday. God, I just need some time to breathe. Yesterday. Crap. I can't stay quiet. I need to be really careful so I don't get brigaded again. Today. F the torpedoes. Full steam ahead. And people say I'm wise and thoughtful. And I don't. Fine. So everything's on a Facebook page. So then we go to Facebook. Oh, God. How much time does it take to just say this? Fine. And on that note, I'm off to set fire to myself. Anyways, I might as well be thorough. Chuck Wendig demanded repeatedly that I be accountable for the behavior of a man I worked with when that man did wrong, up to and including the phrase, "Well, you shouldn't have let him go to that convention then." Okay. Then he did. Then he told me he didn't care. And when Holden Shearer was fabricating claims against Arab American and being a terrorist and a thief, I have no idea who any of these people are. And then after the cover for John Mork, who are all these people? Harassment of multiple female members of the community. Yeah, it's pretty darn common. He told HWA, whatever that is, wouldn't do anything because Jack Ketchum was one of the darlings. I kind of heard his name. And it's so weird for me because I am not in this world at all. And I'm like, who cares who these people are? These people that they're terrified of. I was one of the darlings, and everybody warned women they shouldn't be alone in a room with Jack. Again, I don't, okay, really? All this tricking women into getting into bed, right? All this why not just take them out? Why not say, do you want to go out for dinner? Why not just go out? And would that be easier? That seems to me to be the easier way of doing it. He then posted a glowing eulogy when Jack passed away, also for Harlan Ellison. What Harlan Ellison do? I met Harlan Ellison once for 5 seconds. I was at a comic book convention in Orlando, I think, in Florida, and he sees my keeper, the Jewish head covering. He's Jewish, and he looks over at me. I see him. He's looking through comics, and he looks at me. He sees my amateur, and he goes, "What are you going to do with all these effing?" He doesn't say effing. What are you going to do with all these effing goyim everywhere? So funny. He has in the past compared rape to burglary, then deleted the post when called out. The only time I can remember rape compared to burglary was in the movie With Nell and I. Which is when who was it? Richard Harris? No, what was the name of the actor? This kind of fatter actor who was a gay gentleman was enamored with not Richie Grant, with Paul McGann in that movie, and he said, "I must have you, even if it is burglary." Uh, and Richard Griffiths. So there's an issue of Doctor Who magazine with Sophie Aldred was the guest editor, where they imagined a season 27 starring Richard Griffiths, which is a pretty darn good one. Maybe they should try. Big Finish should do that. Like, I mean, a lot of it became like the Big Finish season 27 they did. He named me as a protector of harassers and abusers, but he never named the person harassing. His fans harassed and bullied me for 6 months. I believe that. Oh, I believe that. You know, like, yeah, isn't it? Let's say you have an audience. Let's say you're blessed to have an audience, and it is a blessing. I am so grateful. I have 30 people here, right? I am so freaking grateful for all of you. I really am. You know, it's so, and not only that, you know, you guys have added to my life in a significant way. My views, it just went down to 27 as I said that. Fine. But you know, it's such a blessing to have an audience. Do you want to like be your best for that audience? No, they harassed them 6 months to the point where I was having daily suicide ideation. Ideation? I have no idea what it means, but okay. I was not worse hit by that. I was not the worst hit by that brigade either. I believe that these are people are vicious and vile. So what was the next bit? Oh yeah, but I guess it's this thing here. He came to Mike Cole's defense in 2018 while his fans were demanding that I leave the industry for fumbling my response to the. Ken, here is my big question. Why do all these people need to be the morality police, right? Why do they need to be the morality police? Like what about them? They look in the mirror and go, well, you know, the world's gonna be pretty bad unless I tell them what to do in it. Right? Like what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Well, that's basically what I keep asking, what are they bloody thinking? So like, it's not your responsibility to like to shun someone. It's just kind of stupid. Several other people now loudly castigating people for not calling Mike out soon and blah blah blah. Posted the defense of the body. I watched them build a feminist credibility on my stubble, attempting to invalidate. Did she even mention? I think she did mention Chuck Wendig, did she? This has been going on for so long now. I kind of passed out. Did she mention him? Yeah, oh, yeah. Fine. I watched him build feminist credibility on my stubble, attempting to invalidate a decade of work, making this industry safe for women and queer folk. Okay, everything should be safe for women, queer folk, men, everybody. Everything should be safe for everything everywhere. Like this weird pledge, this weird comic book pledge that he did. So I super double promise not to rape anyone. I super double you should, if you're having to make that, you're doing something wrong, okay? You're doing something wrong. You know what? I see people talking about Richard Griffiths. Let me see if I can find that. That Doctor Who magazine. Richard Griffiths. 1 second. That's him. Doctor Who magazine. That's a big one. So there's some great illustrations. Oh, there we are. That's the one. See if I can find it. Fine, we'll come to that at the end. Stumbled across once in a decade, and he gaslit and bullied me. I believe that. So I might be personally accountable for the man's action, then lied about it when he said, and what they lie as well. When they get caught, they freaking lie their faces off. Again, this is just a need for basic morality. You know what gives you basic morality? Living a normal life, marrying and having kids. That gives you and again, listen, if you can't do, wait a minute, everybody can marry and have kids. Yeah, I just want to say, you can't. Everybody can marry and have kids. If you're gay, you can get married. You can adopt. What the hell? What's wrong with you? Yeah. By the way, that's something I'm quite on board for. Like, you know, I think it's much better for a child to be brought up by a loving gay couple than it is for them to be brought up in the orphan system. Like I think it probably, yeah. So yeah, everybody can marry and have kids, right? Everybody can, and it's good for you. It's good for you. Being like forgiveness is good for you. All these things that are not popular. Looking at people nicely, being good, being nice, it's good for you. It makes you a happier person. That's why Nerdrotic, by the way, is like you can tell. That's why I think he's so successful because and he came through it a hard way. He came through it by by having a pretty rough life and being really strong with the 12-step programming, sticking with the regimen and like growing. You can see that core of goodness. And you know why he's got that core of goodness? Because he's worked on it. This stuff takes work, takes effort. You can either be who you want to be or do what you want to do. Ben Cook does what he wants to do. He does. He's not the person he wants to be. I guarantee you. I don't think he's the person he wants to be. And if once he realizes he is that person, I think he's going to be mortified. And I think they go through cycles of that where they realize how terrible they've been. Fine, let's see if we got. He doesn't know. Okay, I don't know what this guy Mike did. He doesn't get to ride a white horse here. I've chewed on my own sins for 2 years and put hard work and accountability for my aspect and weak spots. He knew Mike was a predator. He covered for him, and he stomped all over women to prove he's the best feminist. Yes, and that's what it's all about. I am not going to be silent for one more moment. Good for you. Wendig responded to Kate's accusation in a blog post on the website. He was deeply sorry for his friendliness towards Cole and several other authors who apparently who are currently facing accusations. Then he said he never saw harassment or abuse in play. Really, you just check your Twitter feed, mate. Wendig concluded in his response by announcing he has cut personal and professional ties with these men and will not signal boost them. Okay, no. That's not the point. Okay. Because I woke up, so I guess she responded. Because I woke up a lovely chiding message. Don't you think you should let this be? He was just trying to help. Why now? I'm going to be a lot blunter than I was yesterday. I called Chuck Wendig 2 years ago because he recognized that somebody I was defending was part of a much larger issue, and I lacked the awareness, and I was terrified that I had been defending someone who was a predator. Chuck Wendig is not trying to help. He spent half the year, half hour call demanding that I personally take responsibility for the man who was my colleague, not my employee, not my partner, somebody who, if anything, was a level above me, up to including the phrase, "You should not have allowed him to go to the convention." Didn't we just read this? Oh my God, more. Fine. Okay, we're plowing through it. We're doing it. Meanwhile, the story he was telling was telling me of the victim kept changing it. Every time he spoke, it changed. I kept asking him because I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I couldn't get straight on. He ended the call with a threat. If I didn't do something about it, he would. He then unfriended me and posted a warning about how I was exactly. How I was protecting an abuser. He told the victim that I was lying and I was going to come after her. All this is so true. Again, I so believe every part of this. What a terrible, terrible person. Yeah, what a terrible person. I just bottom line, be a nicer guy. Be a nicer guy. You don't have to be. Again, if you work at being a good person, you're not going to need to push everybody down to raise yourself up. And when you are pushing everybody down to raise yourself up, that should be a warning sign to all of you. Then he never named the abuser. He named the queer woman who had been working her ass off as a personal cost of 10 years to try and move the industry into a place where these things don't happen. Again, your way of moving the industry into a place where these things don't happen was entirely wrong. You should, You wanna stop this happening? Be professional and be conservative. Professional and conservatism. I hate to say it, protects people from this abuse. Now, that's not to say being conservative, you're not going to get abuse in there. But right now, for the last 10, 20 years, we've had this idea that if you're liberal, if you're progressive, you cannot be abusive. You can't. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is just completely insane. Because as we see here, it is a account of abuse. I couldn't get clarity because I was getting ready to take the stand against a friend. 10 years moving into it. I called him. Okay, fine. Let me tell you something about women who speak up about abuse. We do not get the cookie. We get threats. We get uninvited friends. We get cold shouldered. We lose work and friends. I have literally been asked to leave social groups because we want to be able to have fun without being reported. Okay, nearly there. We got what? 3 more paragraphs. 3 more clumps of paragraphs ago. But men who do the bare women get lauded and say, "Oh, I didn't know." Get treated like a big brave Stan. And the situation with Cole and Sykes and everybody is a very deep problem in the social group. Has been outed before and covered over, leaving more women to be abused. The reason women are being abused, the reason people are being abused, is because of a wholesale detachment from general morality. That's what's going on. And that's why they got to scream about how moral. That's why they got a virtue signal. That's exactly why. Because they have no morality, just like they have no lives. And that's when I came forward, because I was going to drop this. I was going to leave it be. Chuck Wendig is being lauded for saying he didn't know about his 2 longtime buddies. He didn't know about somebody who was outed 2 years ago while I was demanding that I take personal responsibility for somebody I didn't like and turning his fans on me when I asked for help. Yeah, so sounds like the person I believe him to be. I spoke up now because I'm tired of seeing white men covering for each other. Yeah, lose me right away. Right, but at the expense of women and minorities. I'm tired of being watching BIPOC men be run out of the industry. I don't know that bisexual black men they're talking about, and abuse women being treated like a chance to earn cookies. Chuck didn't help. He lied. Okay. This could have been so much shorter. Yeah, it would have been more effective. You're supposed to be a freaking author. It would have been much more effective shorter. He lied, he gaslit, he bullied me. And when I spoke up about it, his fans bullied me for 6 months. I'm not the only person who reported similar experiences. Is it all believe women, or is it believe women as long as Chuck Wendig isn't talking? We're gonna if we're gonna have an honest discussion about abuses, we need to start by having an honest discussion about the white men who are profiting literally off the abuse and harassment of women. Okay, quite long-winded, but essentially just saying Chuck Wendig is a crappy human being. Didn't need anything to tell me that. Fine. Let's go look at the chat again. We'll go right back to, how far can I go back to? Look, where we go. Fine. Let me have a look. Running through it. Okay, Scott W. Being part of the okay, I read that already. Anything else? I'm sure I saw more. Problem being said, well, maybe we should tell Benjamin, but shouldn't be Trumpy president. Like, okay, I think I read that one already. Yeah, I read that. Is that the last one? I'm not a racist, but all white men need to be silenced. Oh shit, I'm a white man. That's like Kevin W. Clark. Yes. Jack Ketchum wrote, amongst other things, The Woman is now deceased like Ellison. These people are literally eating the dead. God, yes. Yeah, there is no morality at all. But yeah, there's morality about anything. Fine. So again, that was basically an hour and 45 minutes, right? I barely spoke to the chat. An hour and 45 minutes. I'm glad I did this as a stream as opposed to a video. That would have gone on forever. Fine. So let me give you just a few announcements. Firstly, join us at 7 o'clock in it's going to be 2 hours, 15 minutes. We're doing the watch along of Go on the 5? No, School Reunion. School Reunion. We're doing the watch along of School Reunion on Noel's channel on the TARDIS Zone. It will be fun and frolics for all. And then I'm not doing a live stream on Thursday this week. Why did I get my hair cut? I will tell you why I got my hair cut. Because starting on Wednesday night is a 3-week period which we inventively call in Judaism the 3 weeks. During the 3 weeks, you cannot get your hair cut. It is a time of mourning. It is basically a time of bad stuff happening. It ends on the 9th of Av, which is normally around August sometime. Basically, 3 weeks. 3 weeks after, 3.5 weeks from now. And for the last 9 days of it, you don't eat meat and you don't listen to music all the time. You don't drink wine in the last 9 days. What else did you do? So I got my hair cut because you know it's gonna be a period of time where I couldn't get my hair cut. But anyway, the reason I'm not doing a stream on Thursday is because on Wednesday night, Thursday is a fast. It actually starts on Thursday morning as sun comes up, but it won't end until about 8 o'clock, 8:30 my time, which is about 6 o'clock. So that's and then I'm going to be too jiggered to do a stream. So this is why I'm putting an extra stream in. I may stream again on Friday instead, unless something happens. Unless something happens, and I will want to stream, and I will have to pontificate about it. But yeah, that's really the bottom line. Why are they so terrible? Why are these people so incredibly terrible? Why is Ben Cook so miserable, so angry, such a unhappy human being? Why? It's because their lives are on hold. Their lives are on hold because they haven't done the work they need to be happy, which takes work. You know, that's really the bottom line. When you're still doing the same thing when you're 35 as you were when you're 19, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good for you. Fine. If you haven't entered the competition, we're doing the giveaway tonight. Godfather complete DVD. This is a really good set. You got the hashtag is you broke my heart, Fader. I've only got about 5 entries in this one, which is wild. It's a fantastic thing. I guess you can watch it on Netflix. Fine. So there we are. Sheila Beckin. When are we doing the next Blake 7? I got to listen to it first, but that is soon. That will be. You know what? I'm gonna get on that. I want to finish listening to the Star Cops, and I got 2 discs from that to go to. What I have to tell you, I think I'm out the Big Finish Star Cops. Yeah, it's not that I love the theme music. Won't be easy, not that I loved it at all, but it just feels wrong without it. And I found the theme tune they put in just a bit too generic. Find it a little bit boring. But again, I'm 1 disc into the first section of Mars. I want to listen to those 2 discs, and then I'll get straight to Blake 7. So let's say if I push, maybe next week. Shall we aim for next week? And Nick, let's say so this Friday. We're on Video Vault. We're going to be doing Rumblefish, but next week is what I'm quite excited about. It'll be Blazing Saddles. So I hope you join us for that. Fine. I think I've answered everybody's question. I'm going to hit the off button, the end broadcast button. Let's see where it ends. I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. My name is Sheila Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell.